This is the Soul Expansion Soundboard, an hour of honest conversations and straightforward advice on spiritual growth, limitless creation, and enlightened evolution. With 3 certified spiritual coaches and soulpreneurs who understand what it's like to navigate spiritual growth in an ever-changing world. You'll be part of illuminating discussions featuring spirituality, self-development, inner healing, manifesting, and expansive creation of the abundant life you truly deserve. Now, here are your hosts, Roz Kincaid, Julian Crosson-Hill, and Jordy Chevalier.
Hello, and happy Friday. Welcome to the Soul Expansion Soundboard. I'm spiritual life coach and human design specialist, Julian Crosson-Hill, and I'll allow my lovely co-host, Roz, to introduce herself.
Hey everybody, I'm Roz Kincaid. I am a certified spiritual life coach and founder and owner of Soul Healing with Roz. Welcome back. So today, you guys, I am going to be giving away a very, very special book that I have been reading. It is called The Soul of Money. And that book has really, really helped me to understand not just the alignment and the spirituality of money, but the energetics of money. Everything is energy. You'll hear us say that multiple times today, but money is also spiritual. So make sure you drop a hashtag giveaway in the comments and also say hello, get in here and say hey to us. Don't come in the house and not speak and tell us where you're from. So listen, also you guys, I want you guys we want to share with you that, of course, today someone is missing from our group today. And Jordy shared with us that she has decided to move in a different direction. And so you will now be seeing our lovely faces, me and Julian, from here on out. And we wish Jordy all the best going forward. And we know that she is going to find what is aligned for her and just rock it out and kill it. So all the best to you, Jordy.
Yeah, definitely. Fun journey, Jordy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we've got Maria here from Dayton, Ohio. So today we're going to be talking about a very special topic, I think, and that is when what you desire doesn't manifest. And most of us have heard of The Secret. We've heard of the law of attraction. We've done a lot of work around trying to manifest what we desire, and sometimes it just flops. I've had ones fizzle. I think everyone has. And so Roz and I are going to talk about, we're going to start by just sort of talking about what manifestation is. So if you're new to that concept, we're going to talk about that and break it down for you. But then we're going to get into, why does it sometimes seem like it doesn't work, and what do you do when it doesn't happen?
Yeah, this is going to be a really good one. And I had to think a little. I took a little walk before this show today, and I thought about manifestation, what it is, like where does it all come from, and first and foremost, let's just get behind the fact that we are always manifesting because we are ever evolving energy. We are always creating. We are always shifting and changing, and the energetic field, the quantum field, is always available to us to pull things into our reality. So first and foremost, let's get behind the fact again that we're always manifesting, whether it's something positive or something not so positive. And we have the power to actually change things and manifest something different for ourselves that we want to experience. So I always like to start with the definition. Okay. A nice strong definition. And what I found, according to the Oxford Dictionary, is that manifestation is an event, an action, or an object that clearly shows or embodies something, especially a theory or an abstract idea. So the thing that stuck out to me the most about that definition is the embodiment part, because
Yes.
that piece is the linchpin to really pulling things in to your existence, into your reality, right? So spiritually, on a soul level, everything you want is already created. Everything you desire is already available to you, and you get to pick and choose out of the quantum field, out from your soul plan, what you want to have and what you want to experience in this now moment, in this human existence, in this incarnation, right? And so a lot of times like today's topic, we talk about, well, what, when something you want doesn't manifest, it goes back to not just the energetics, but the embodiment of what it is that you want. Julian, did you have anything to add with that?
Well, I think for me, I want to start by kind of taking a little bit of a step back and just really exploring this idea of the quantum field and energy, because everything is energy. So a lot of us, when we went to school, they taught us Newtonian physics, right? And that is, all matter is made of smaller pieces of matter. They're all made of atoms. And so we've all grown up with this thought that, everything's made of just smaller pieces of whatever that stuff is. But quantum physics has shown us that everything is actually made of energy. And of course, Einstein came up with that classic equation we all learned, E equals mc squared, which is the equation of how energy becomes matter and matter becomes energy. And so everything, me, you, the chair I'm sitting on, the computer screen I'm looking at, it's all energy. And we are at our root, we are energetic beings. We, through our thoughts and our feelings and our beliefs, we create our reality, and we even create our form out of those thoughts and feelings and beliefs, out of pure energy. And energy, quantum physics also teaches us that energy moves in a wave, and sometimes it's a particle. Because what quantum physics noticed was, when they wanted to find out the position of a particle, they did some studies and they noticed that that particle never really had a true position until someone was looking at it, because energy moves in waves, and energy constantly in this wave moves between potential and form. And it's only when it's observed does one of those potentials manifest and create a position for that particle. And so what that tells us is that all of reality is really based on observing and the observer. And who is the observer? Well, if you've ever thought about what you're thinking, that person looking, like observing your own thoughts, is the observer. It's your higher self, it's your soul, it's your spirit being, it's that part of you that is pure energy.
Definitely. Everything is energy. I mean, shit, y'all, what y'all want us to say? Everything is energy. Like, it is. Like, science has proven it. Like, I don't really have anything to add to what Julian said. He gave us a very good rundown of the scientific explanation that everything that you touch, see, is, when you boil it down, is energy. Nothing else to say. Listen, you guys, make sure that you're dropping any comments or questions around manifestation that you have in the comment section. We're watching them, we're monitoring. Again, hello to everybody who has joined us, and we want you to engage, because it gets the energy going for us, and it kind of like gives us inspiration to open up this conversation, because this one here is, manifestation is trending. It's always been trending, but it's always been around. So it's not really new. So let's talk about how manifestation works. Like, there are several different processes for manifestation. But again, the basis of manifestation, I believe, is made of the desire. It starts with the desire, and I would even go as far as to say that even before that, it starts with your soul. What is the soul plan? What is the soul purpose? What is the soul's mission? And then once you incarnate into human form, like, you get to collaborate with your soul to pick and choose what you want to bring into this existence, right? So it starts with the soul plan. It starts with the blueprint. It starts with, a template. And then you have the desires. Once you've dropped into this flesh and this body, it starts with the desire. So manifestation works by wanting something. That's how it starts. You want something. And then again, going back to that definition, it's embodiment. It's not just feeling like getting to the end part and feeling into having it, but it's starting right now, step by step, small piece by small piece, and starting to shift behavior, shift thoughts, shift the way you speak, shift the narrative of what you want, and starting to, because all of that emits energy back out into the universe, and it's communication to God, goddess, whoever you call it in the universe, that she wants to call this in now. And it's crazy because I see it as like a grocery store. Y'all, my visions, y'all just go with me on this, okay? So I see it as a grocery store, but you don't get to go and like get behind the counter and go shop. You pull up to the counter and you look around and say, "Ooh, I think I want money today. I want $5,000." Just use this as an example, or a pair of shoes. Let's go with that, ladies, men. We want a pair of Gucci shoes or whatever the case may be, and you ask for that, and spirit goes off and makes this stuff happen. But then you got to go sit your ass down and wait. You got to go sit down and wait for them to pull it off the shelf, shine it up, make sure they got your size, make sure it's just right for you. Then you receive it. But see, what I'll get into later, what happens that blocks that whole waiting period, because there is a waiting period. Like even if it's a very short period of time, you got to wait to receive. Like you got to be in position to receive. Maria says she loves how spirit gives us some of the amazing images to explain the grocery store. And yes, girl, the shoes. Because listen, mama need a new pair of shoes. Julian, what's coming up for you about how to manifest?
Well, I think the waiting thing is really triggering for me our misunderstanding of time, because in like the energetic realm and in the spiritual realm, time doesn't really exist. Everything is just now, and it's all happening simultaneously. But of course, in our 3D sort of realm that we're in this like embodied form, we experience time as a linear progression. We don't experience it all at once. So, for spirit, it's instant. We think it, we feel it, we desire it, we embody that energy, and it comes into being. But for us, we experience that as a waiting period. And part of the thing that sometimes gums up our manifestation work is we get so bogged down in that time. We focus on the past. We live in the past. We replay our past experiences, and we relitigate them almost. We like constantly are thinking about all the things we did wrong, all the things that went wrong in our lives. And we put so much energy into the past that we're actually creating more of the same with that intention that we're putting out into the quantum field. But more than that, we don't really have any power to change the past. And so when we relive those experiences, when we feel those things that we felt in the past over again, all we're really doing is making sure that we experience more of the same. Likewise, we spend a lot of time worrying about the future. Am I going to have enough money to pay rent next month? Are people going to like me when I go to this party? There's all these like future worries, and we're trying to live our life in the future. We're trying to plan ahead. We're trying to look at what tomorrow's going to bring and live our life in the future. And again, we don't have any power in the future. If we want to change what we're experiencing in our world, the only moment that we have to do that is right now. It's in the present moment, which means that a big part of being a successful manifester is being mindful of what am I thinking, what am I feeling, and who am I being and embodying in the now, in the moment. You've got to let go of the past, and you've got to stop worrying about the future and just live right now.
Exactly. Because right now is all you have. Going back to physics and science, right now is all that you can experience as a human being right now, even though multiple realities exist at the same time. You as the observer can only observe one reality at a time, and that is now. That's not what happened yesterday or 10 years ago, and that's not what's about to happen 5 years ago. You can't be in tomorrow right now, like
Right.
humanly. So all you have is right now, and you have to focus on what's happening right now. But here's the thing with that, though, and Julian, I wanted to ask you about this. If that is the case, here goes my open head. If that is the case, then how we say that, but at the same time, we also advise and direct people, not direct, but advise and guide people to feel into what it would feel like. So some people may see that as a bit contradictory. Like, be present, be in the now, but feel into what it would feel like when you have it. So can you speak to that just a little bit?
I sure can. So, what we're doing when we do that is not so much thinking about what it's going to feel like when we have it.
Hmm.
We're thinking about what we're trying to do is feel that we already have it in the now, right? We're trying to trigger that energetic, like we're trying to embody that energy of already having it. And so we're using our wonderful mental capacity to imagine the future. And we're going, okay, what am I going to feel like when I have that thing? What is it going to feel like to manifest this? Because we do experience time linearly. And then it's about embodying that energy and embodying that feeling of already having it right in the present moment. And so that's really where I can see how that could be confusing, but it's really about how do you anchor that energy in the present moment? How do you feel like you already have it? How do you sort of mentally understand that everything happens simultaneously and everything is now, so therefore you have it now? How do you like anchor and embody that energy? I want to address a comment we have. One of Maria's comments is she says, "My biggest block to manifesting was realizing I was worthy to receive when I didn't feel I was, and many of my clients have the same issue." So everybody join the club. I think everybody at some point has worthiness issues. And so there's really a couple of things I want to say about that. And one is just really understanding that we are all part of divine source. We are all part of the same emanation of energy. Everything is energy, and all of that energy comes from the same place. I'm a big student of Kabbalah, which is the mystical underpinnings of Judaism, and it's also the underpinnings of a lot of Western esoteric thinking. And in Kabbalah, there is the primal emanation that emanates out of pure nothingness, and that is what is sort of at the top of the tree of life. It's pure divine energy that emanates, and then it trickles down through various states of energy into matter, into form, and that includes us. And so another way to think about it is I always lean into human design. And in human design, each of us has what we call a design and a personality crystal. And they're like a big fragment of one big crystal of consciousness that fragmented. And so you can think of that as, God sort of fragmenting, and each of us is a piece of God. And so if we're a piece of God, there's no way that we can't be worthy of what we desire. And this worthiness comes up a lot in human design because, in human design, of course, we talk about conditioning. And conditioning is anything that pulls us away from who we are at our core. And so a big part of that worthiness is really digging in there, through human design, through body work and body wisdom and somatics, through coaching, through all these different techniques to really understand this feeling of unworthiness that I'm experiencing. Is this mine, or is this someone else's unworthiness being projected onto me? And I'm picking up that energy and I'm mistakenly thinking that this is my energy.
Mm. That whole conditioning piece. Now, the whole conditioning plus the shadow piece is what to me is fascinating. Like, if we I can't even though I experience it, it's hard for me to understand, how do we make the jump? Well, it's through conditioning. How do we make the jump from knowing that we are fragments of God, and even as a fragment, you are just as powerful, you are just as creative, you have the potential to be just as all knowing, as God is. You have the same characteristics as God, except you're in the flesh, right? But I sometimes find it hard to even know that and believe that, and then jump out into shadow and unworthiness. And it's like, it's not that God is moving from us, right? It's not that God is disconnecting from us. It's that from our conditioning, we jump into shadow. And the moment that you jump out of soul and into shadow, um, you start to experience more of that unworthiness, more of that I can't, more of that I don't deserve type of thinking. I hope that makes sense. Y'all let me know in the comments if what we talking about makes sense for you.
Yeah,
Sound
absolutely. And if you have questions in the comments, please do. And don't forget to hashtag giveaway to win the book, The Soul of Money, that Roz is giving away. So I put it in the comments, but I'm not sure if it works on LinkedIn. So Maria, the easiest book to learn Kabbalah that I think is actually kind of a fun read, called The Chicken Kabbalah by Lon Milo DeCat. So that's probably the most accessible book on Kabbalah, because it can be a very difficult subject. So I love what Roz was saying about the shadow and how we get pulled away from that. And, that's a lot of what human design is all about, is where are we showing up in the shadow? Where is our energy being influenced by other people's energy? And worthiness is a really big piece of this. When we feel that we really are worthy of all the things we desire, that's when we really step into manifestation. But there's also, I think, another piece of this besides the worthiness, is that embodiment. How do you embody that divinity? How do you embody that understanding that you have the ability to create your reality, to manifest what you desire, to live the life that you want, to be a limitless being? How do you embody that energy? And there's a complicated sort of interplay between our thoughts and our feelings, and how we're feeling energetically, and the actions that we're taking, and all of this. They're all sort of signals that are going into the quantum field. So we need to align them. But I also want to sort of debunk this idea that, you're doing all the things, and you suddenly had a doubt, or you thought one thing, stray thought, and suddenly it ruined the whole manifestation, because I don't believe that that's how it works. I don't believe that the way we manifest, or the way we interface with the quantum field, is so fragile that one stray moment of thinking something negative, or being angry, or experiencing a powerful emotion, is going to wreck your manifestation. And I know Roz has some opinions on that.
Yeah, no, that shit ain't true. Like, that's my opinion on it. Listen, that is not true. Just because, like, think of it this way: just because you have one bad day or a few bad days doesn't mean your life is wrecked. Like, apply that to your process of manifestation, or the idea of manifestation. Because you got a stray thought or a few stray thoughts, or you kind of dip back down in your energy about what it is that you are trying to pull into your reality, doesn't kill the whole plan. Like, it just means that you're a human. You feel shit. Listen, let me tell y'all something. You are human. Okay, let's get that together. I'm looking right here in this camera. You are human, and you are going to dip into shadow. Like, it's inevitable. You're going to dip in the shadow. But here's where it becomes problematic. When you stay in shadow and you don't, exercise your tools and execute your strategies to get back either neutral or above neutral in your your energy around what it is that what you want to manifest. So no, I don't believe that because you have a bad thought, or you have a bad feeling, or you pop off about it, or you get discouraged about it, it doesn't cancel what it is that you're trying to alchemize in your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So real quick, Rod has a question. He asked, if you don't get what you manifest, then it wasn't meant to be. Good question. Okay, let me give you a personal example to kind of answer this question. So, um, I desired something very deeply to have it in my personal life. Um, and I did all the things to try to bring it in. I prayed about it. I did, all the steps, all the steps, the whole process. I felt into it. I did rituals, all of these things, and it just would not happen. It just would not happen. So, through an Akashic Records reading, I found that me wanting this was not actually a part of my soul plan. However, now that I am in the incarnation, now that I am in my human form, I've had the opportunity. Now my body, now my humanness wants something different that was established in my soul plan, because that can happen. You could have a soul plan with God and soul and spirit, and y'all can have that thing nailed down, and then you come into earth in real life and be like, well, wait a minute, I want to change the plan. And that's okay to do. But what happened for me is that there was some contrast that that came up, where my soul was like, this is the plan. My humanness is saying, but I want this. And then my soul was like, well, we have all these other things that we want to give to you and present to you, and all these other things that are possibilities. Do you still want that? And if I still wanted it, then what I would have had to do was reconcile or get with my soul and change the plan. So that's the long answer. I hope it made sense, but no. Sometimes it's not meant to be, and other times is that your humanness wants something different than what the soul plan is. And
Yeah,
you
I
make
would.
a choice. Like, you unconsciously make a choice to either have that or not. It's not that anybody's punishing you, saying no, 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 you can't have that. That's conditioning. That thinking, that's conditioning. That if you think that spirit is withholding something from you, there's a contrast there, you and soul need to either get on the same page about it, or you need to drop it and get with the plan. That's all it is. I hope that helps, Rod. Does that? Let me know in the comments if that answers the question.
Yeah, I want to add to that a couple of things that kind of came up for me. So, as Ross said, we're human. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to fall into shadow. We're going to struggle. And when we decided to incarnate in this life, we did this to learn a certain number of things. We came here with, I hate to use the word karma, but it's the one most people understand. We came to learn certain lessons. And sometimes when something doesn't manifest, it's not because you can't have it. And it's not because it's not going to happen. It's because there's something you need to learn from the experience of not getting it. And that manifestation not showing up is spirit signaling to you that you've got some work to do. And so sometimes you do that work, and then suddenly, boom, there it is, and everything moves forward in the way that you desired. And sometimes, because we're human and because we experience linear time, and we can't see every possibility and every potential happening simultaneously, we don't understand that maybe that's not the best thing for us. And so one of the things I do when I'm asking universe for things, or when I'm doing this manifestation work, is I always look for, I want this or something better. Because sometimes we, in our limited awareness, don't know that there's actually something even better than that. And we just need to be open to allowing universe, source, God, goddess, whatever your word for your higher power is, to bless you in a way that you weren't even aware you could be blessed. And that's really sometimes the power of this. I also strongly believe in everything that Ross said about soul contracts, because there is that whole piece of soul contracts and having a mission and work that you came here to do. And of course, working with the Akashic records, and the Akasha can help you get more clarity around that. But often when we have a desire that doesn't manifest, it's actually a signal that there's some exploration that we need to do. There's some learning we need to do, and there's some work. It's basically some work to do. It's definitely a signal to pull up your boots and dust off the dust and get to work.
Yeah, doing the work. And I don't want to make that sound like a lot of forceful efforting, but that's what you're here to do. When I grew up in the church, they they used to say, when you get saved, now you need to go work out your soul salvation, as if like you got to earn it. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But there are lessons that have to be worked out, and a lot of times, um, you gotta work through it. You gotta work through the lesson, not for just the sake of appreciation, but that's what you signed up to do. That
Yeah.
is what you signed up to do. And I forgot what else I was gonna say. My thought just left me. But if it comes back to me, I'll let you know. Okay.
I think there's the other piece here is sometimes when we're manifesting, we look around at what everybody else has. And we start to compare what we have and what we've gotten to what other people have. I saw this a lot yesterday when the student debt forgiveness got announced. There were a lot of people on social media grousing and complaining about how they paid their loans already, or they paid for school themselves, or all of these things. And what's that energy that you're putting into the quantum field when you are resentful of someone else getting what they desire, but yet you expect what you desire to come in? So there's definitely a piece about celebrating and being happy for other people's windfalls, because that's the energy that you want to be embodying to be a really effective manifester. You want to understand, like, I've always believed that rising tides lift all boats, right? If
Mhm.
everyone's doing well, I'm going to do well too. And that's really the type of energy that you need to be embodying when you're doing this manifestation work. Because when you're holding resentment and envy and jealousy in in your being, you're signaling to the quantum field that you think that there's unworthiness, whether and even though you intend to think that the other person doesn't deserve it, the quantum field doesn't make those distinctions. It doesn't split hairs. It just knows that you're holding this resentment and this unworthiness in your being, and it really sort of gunks up the works.
Yeah, in addition to that, it also signals to the universe, to spirit, that you don't trust them. You don't trust it. You don't trust
Yeah.
it. You don't trust the plan. You don't trust source. You look around and see everybody else getting what they asked for, and you being envious or jealous or what have you. Said it really, the message that you're sending is that I don't trust you to do the same or better for me. So why should I be happy? Why should I be grateful? Why should I,
Yes.
why should I cheer somebody else on, or be happy when somebody else gets a windfall? Like, you got to look at people as if they were you. Like, I remember when I was trying to get pregnant with my daughter. Oh God, it was like every fucking turn a pregnant woman would walk by me. I'd get stuck on the elevator with a pregnant lady, like 8 9 month pregnant women. And I'm sitting here in the process trying and trying and trying, and it feels like it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. But every time I would think that, here comes a reflection saying, we're not just dangling this in front of your face. If you could, it was almost as if spirit was telling me, if you can get yourself in a place where you can be happy and celebrate those women for carrying a child for 9 months, going through whatever process that they went through, giving love, putting love out into, the atmosphere, then you might get what you want a little faster. Like, trust us that we got you. Like, how much do you trust source? When you see somebody else getting their loans paid off, somebody else hitting the lottery, somebody else getting what you want, what does that do to your level of trust in source? Because you can't allow that to pull you down, remove trust from the dynamic between you and source, like you have to use that to build you up, because I'm telling you, y'all, when you shine, I reflect. Know that. If you doing good, that tells me that I have learned to reframe that and to say, if you got yours, mine is on the way, and it's gonna be just as good or even better, even better.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, absolutely. Something that I think I forget exactly what Roz said, but she said something about, with being happy for other people and sort of seeing yourself in them. And that's an important point, is that when we have that resentment, it's like we, the illusion of separation is exactly that. It's an illusion. We're all one. We're all from the same pool of energy. We're all energy. We all come from the same place. We're all one. And when we can look beyond the boundaries of this form that we're inhabiting and really see, when I can see Roz as the same as me, or I can see a complete stranger or homeless person as the same as me, or a rich person even, I'm recognizing that we're all one, and instead of holding that resentment, then I can feel more connected. I can feel more love, compassion, and empathy for other people. And that's the energy that we want to embody if we're going to participate in our dance with the quantum field, because it's really like a dance. You move and the quantum field responds. And that's really what we're doing here, is we're flowing and dancing with the quantum field, with the field of infinite possibilities that's all around us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you want to move into a couple of ways that we can like get into this manifestation and kind of help refine it for people. I know we had talked about like meditation and affirmation, and even you and I, Julian, most recently had a conversation around like manifesting money and affirmations. And I tend to get hung up on saying affirmations. Like for those of you who don't know, affirmations is repeating a phrase over and over again. But it's not just repeating the phrase. Like you got to believe it. Like you got to buy into it. You have to put your energy in behind it. When I was in church and singing in the choir director, when he or she observed the choir not like putting forth like umph into the lyrics or into the song or helping people to feel it, she would snap at us and be like, give me some attitude, say it with energy. That's the same thing. That's the same thing with saying these affirmations. You just can't repeat, I want money, I want money, I want money, or I have, or I am abundant, I am rich, whatever affirmation you're going to be, you choose to repeat. But you gotta put something behind that. Like anybody can go and say some words 10 times a day, but the shit ain't gonna do nothing if you don't put some attitude and some energy behind it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So my thing with affirmations is, really, there's a couple of things. First of all, it's important how you write the affirmation. You don't want to be affirming something that you don't want, right? You don't want to be saying, don't make me poor, because what the universe is hearing is, poor over and over and over, and they're feeling the energy of poor. So you always want to write them in the positive. You also want to write them in the present. Don't be saying I'm gonna have, or I'm getting, or it's coming. Say you have it now. Like, make them in the present. And then for me, the real power in affirmations is when you approach them with what the Buddhists call beginner mind. And beginner mind means that you're coming at it as if you were a beginner, when Buddhists talk about beginner mind, it's about sitting down on that meditation cushion as if you've never meditated before, and paying all of that attention to your mind and your thoughts. And so with affirmations, we come to affirmations with beginner mind when we do things with a lot of intention. We put a lot of feeling into them. And so if you're memorizing your affirmations and you're just rattling them off by rote, that's not beginner mind. Beginner mind would be to write them out, and and very consciously, like, reading them. Even though you may have memorized them, take the time to read them and really see and feel and experience every word. That is beginner mind. And when you approach it from beginner mind, you are embodying the energy of that affirmation. You are putting more force into that affirmation than when you just sort of by rote repeat a memorized phrase over and over.
Yeah, definitely. The I am statements, the statements of present, is going to be very powerful. I like that what you said. There's also meditation that comes into mind. So listen, your mind is powerful, and our imagination is powerful as well. And even if you don't have a regular meditation practice, just sitting and using your imagination can be considered a meditation. But the first thing you want to do if you're going to use meditation as a tool for manifestation, first of all, get your body calm. Like get your nervous system to calm down through breath work, get your body to relax, right? So that that energy can be open and receptive and malleable. Like you want to receive stuff, so get yourself like in a position to receive, right? So when you use meditation as a tool, it's about the imagination. Like I don't know what happened. Like we've been socialized out of being imaginative.
Yeah.
And it's really been discounted that imagination is creative. Like I don't understand how we can teach kids to be use your imagination. But then when we get older, it's like I don't have any imagination. I can't do anything. I can't see it. Like you can see it. Yes, you can. You can see it. Like stop with that. Like stop buying into that. Like that's not true. It's true because you're making it true. So sitting and just imagining having not no and a lot of this you got to get out of the how. Like not imagining the A B C B steps to it, but imagining receiving,
Yes.
imagining having it. Because if what happens to the body, to the emotions, is your emotions are going to follow that imagination. That once again sends out signals to the universe like, oh, she really wants this. So let's get over here and make this happen because she is showing us that she's about that life. She wants this. She really is trying to pull this into her being, her energy. And again, we talked about embodiment. Well, before I move on to that, Julian, did you have any points to make or any thoughts to share around manifestation as a tool for meditation as a tool for manifestation?
I have a lot of thoughts on meditation. So, one of the most harmful ideas for new meditators is the idea that you silence your mind, that you
Mm-mm.
stop thinking, like, that you empty your mind, because that's not what meditation is. What meditation is, we've already talked about the way our thoughts create our reality. And what meditation is about dropping the noise level in your mind so that the observer can look at what you're thinking. It's not about stopping thinking, like not thinking and just being there with an empty mind. It's about noticing what your thoughts are and observing them without judgment. You're not there to judge the thoughts. You're not there to control the thoughts. You're just observing yourself thinking. And that's a really important thing because that creates that mindfulness in the present moment about what am I thinking? What am I putting out into the quantum field? That's how you start to notice what kinds of false beliefs you're holding, what your personal narrative is, which is really shaping your reality in a strong way. And I just want to share a scientific thing about visualization and imagination because this always sort of blows me away. And I think, like Ross said, we don't give enough emphasis to imagination. So there was a study where people were split in two groups, and one group practiced the piano every day. And the other group sat and imagined that they were playing the same piece on the piano. They imagined and pictured in their mind where their fingers went, how the keys felt, the whole thing. And then they tested them, and the group that imagined playing the piano improved nearly as much as the group that physically practiced. So your mind doesn't know the difference between doing the thing and imagining the thing. And that's why visualization is such a powerful tool for manifestation, because your mind doesn't know the difference between you imagining you have that and you actually having it.
Your mind is you got to play a trick on your mind and not let your mind play a trick on you. This is what I heard. So imagination, use it. Use it. It's there for you to use. It's a faculty um, to facilitate bringing in what it is that you want. Imagine having it. Um, I was gonna say, going back to embodiment. I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but it keeps coming up for me. When we talk about embodiment, we mean not just imagining it and feeling into it, but behaving as if you have it. Like faith without works is dead. For those of you who have that, that Bible background, like some of the stuff in the Bible, like I'm like, yeah, right. But some of the stuff in the Bible is like, yeah, and that's one of them. And like faith without works is dead. Faith without any action, just believing, is not as potent as believing and taking action behind it. Just believing that you will purchase your first home or your first car is not as potent as you believing that you are going to make those purchases without doing things to shift your money and your finances and put yourself in the best position to receive those things. So not just imagining, but stepping into the person that you need to be able to have that. Like you got to be it. You got to start acting like it. And it's not a fake it till you make it type of thing, but start to change behaviors, start to speak differently, starting to have conversations around what it is that you want, right? I used to think that if I spoke about what I wanted to somebody, then it wouldn't happen. And that actually happened for me a few times. Um, and I believe that that's happening for me because I'm buying into that. I'm manifesting that to be true. That if I want something and I tell somebody that I want it and I talk about it, then it's not gonna happen. I'm creating that. I'm creating that to see that in my world. Whereas I've now started to have to practice sharing my heart's desire um with people that I'm drawn to. Because everybody's, your stuff ain't safe with everybody. Let's just be real. Okay. But sharing with safe people about the things that you want. And because listen, you share some stuff with people and they know how to cheer you on or support you, they'll jump in on some stuff with you and support you and invest in you and do things with you to further what you want or to help you to have things that you want that you wouldn't be able to get on your own.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to kind of add to that on the embodying piece. It's not just about taking any action though, because there's a tendency to kind of flail around and take frantic action or to try to figure out how it's going to happen, right? We don't need to understand how it's going to manifest. We don't need to understand what it's going to be, how it's going to happen, and we don't need to try to force it and make it happen through our actions. So what we're talking about is really aligned action, and it's action that's, well, part of it is intuitive. It's really about what do I feel called to do in this situation to help this manifestation. And as Ross said, it's also about being the person who has that thing. And that doesn't mean you go out and spend a bunch of money you don't have because you're trying to manifest money, but maybe you go browse that store that feels uncomfortable because it's an expensive store and you haven't normally been able to afford it. And so, there's a tendency for people to sort of sort themselves into what they can afford. And, I had a friend once that I shop at Nordstrom. They're a little more expensive. I had a friend that I took to Nordstrom and she was just really like, I'd never been in here. And she felt really uncomfortable while we were in there because to her, it was out of her reach. And so, one of the ways that you can start to be that person is go into those stores that would normally make you uncomfortable and look at things as if you could afford to buy them. I'm not saying buy them and like run up a bunch of debt that you can't afford yet, but start to look at those things. Be like, I'm going to buy this thing. This is something I really want. And that is acting in accordance with what you're creating. So that's a type of aligned action that you can do. And, that's not an aligned action that's requiring you to know how it's going to happen either. So I think that's a really important part of it.
Absolutely. Um, we've got about 10 more minutes left in the show. One of the points that I want to make is that is around blocking your ability to manifest. Like we've talked about a few things already, but I strongly believe that faith, believing, like it's one, like you're always going to want something, but having the faith to know and believe that you can have it is possible. Let's just start there. Like if you can't do a 180 and get behind, I know I can have this, and having the assurance and the confidence that it's going to come, just start to believe that it's possible. Because I'm guaranteed that if you're even thinking about it, it already exists. It already exists out there. What you want wants you, and it's not just a cliche, but the the fact that it already exists supports that statement. Like it's already out there. You just have to choose and have the faith to to know that it's possible for you to experience. So that's my point on that.
I want to just add one thing to that, and then we'll start to wrap up here. Um, if you aren't able to really believe that and really feel that and hold the highest frequency and vibration for yourself yet, and sometimes there's things that we want, or there's things that are happening in our life that prevent us from being energetically in that place, find a trusted friend or family member to stand in the gap for you. Have them imagine you having it, have them affirm that you've got it, have them hold that energy for you. It's like praying for someone. In a way, you're having this person sort of stand in that gap where you don't have the energy to create the thing, and you're asking them to just sort of help boost the vibration for you or boost the signal. And that can be a really good way. And also, I think sometimes we're really driven by success. And so when we get a friend to do that and then it happens, it sort of boosts our own energy and makes it easier for us to embody that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Like have somebody stand in the gap, touch and agree. So listen, before we move on to the giveaway, make sure you comment #giveaway. Drop that in the comments because I'm going to be drawing here in a few minutes. Um, Drawing in a few minutes to give away The Soul of Money. It's a book by what's her name, Lynn Twist, and it has been very, very instrumental in helping me to understand the spirituality and energetics behind money, and to call that in a little bit more, a little quicker to kind of collapse time, so to speak. But before I do that, just want to give you guys an opportunity that if you like what you hear, you like what we're talking about, and you want to work personally with me one-on-one, you can do that. You can reach out to me at hello@roskincade.com, or you can check out my offerings at Roskincade, www.roskincade. In a minute, Julian and I have something very special that we are offering, but I want to give him an opportunity to share with you what he has going on too.
Yeah. So just like Roz, you can work independently, privately with me in my spiritual life coaching containers. I mostly coach, excuse me, spiritually minded professionals who want to live a more limitless experience. And if you're curious about human design, I also have many human design offerings. You can find those on my website, www.priestofannana.com. And you'll also see that at the end during the credits. Both of our URLs will be on the screen for you.
All right. So let's get to
we got one more big piece of news.
Yes.
So Roz and I have been doing a lot of work with manifestation together, and we've been getting on calls and talking about our experiences and what works and doesn't work, and what, basically having a multi-week extended session of what this has been. And we have turned that into a very special 12-week coaching program that we are going to be releasing on Monday. It will start in October, but the shopping cart to get enrolled drops on Monday. And Roz, do you want to share some more about it?
Oh God, yes. Listen, If you are someone who has struggled to call in money, you feel stress and anxiety around money, you have trust issues that source will have your back, or you have been manifesting money under pressure and you want to get a handle and better control over money, and see more of it in your life and just be more abundant with your resources, then y'all, this program is for you. Okay. We are not just talking about the tangible thing of money, but there are energetics and spirituality and mindsets around money that we are going to be supporting you and guiding you through to help open up and expand so that you can be able to experience all of the great things about money. Because money don't come from money. Money don't come from your job either.
Yeah.
Know that.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
we're going to get into those things in our 12-week program. Again, Julian has mentioned that we're going to be opening up enrollment on Monday. Monday, you'll be able to join or enroll from either his website or my website. Doesn't matter. It goes to the same place. And again, if you're ready to expand and like break some of these curses and false beliefs and limitations around money, get in here. Get in here. We start in October, but even before we start in October, there's some stuff that we need you to do. There's some
Yep.
pre-work there to really like create some awareness around your money. Did I miss anything, Julian, with
No,
the
I don't think you
visibility?
did. So yeah, just check out our websites, get on our email list, and yeah.
Yeah. So Kimberly, you'll be able to check us. Go to either www.roskincade.com or www.priestofanana.com on Monday, August 29th, and we will have all of the details about our program. Or if you can't wait, girl, slide into one of our DMs on Instagram or message us through Facebook, and we will be happy to share details with you. And that's not just for Kimberly, that's for anybody that's interested in the program that you want details about it. So listen, my DMs are always open. I'm always talking to the people. So
Yep.
same for
Same.
Julian too.
Yeah. Same here. Yeah.
Okay, y'all ready for this giveaway? I'm gonna give you one last chance. Now I'm gonna give you about 5 more seconds
Hashtag
here.
giveaway before
Hashtag,
Roz draws.
yes,
Last moment.
hashtag giveaway. And this is about the soul of money. Let me show you what I'm giving you first, so that you'll have a visual um, of what you're gonna be getting. So what you're gonna be getting is this book here, The Soul of Money, Transforming Your Relationship with Money and Life. So go ahead and drop hashtag giveaway in the comments, because I'm going to push a button here in just a minute to kick off the drawing. All right, you guys ready? Let's see who we have. Oh, wait, I got to share this. Y'all bear with me. Bear with me. Technology. Here we go. All right. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Timothy A.
Yay.
Wilkerson, congratulations. You are our lucky winner today. Um, so, Timothy, make sure what I need you to do in order for me to get this lovely book to you, I need you to email me at hello@roskincade.com so we can exchange information and I can get you this book. So, there you go. Congratulations, Timothy. And for all of you who entered the drawing, thank you so much for entering. And we'll probably do this again. Like, this ain't gonna be the last time we give stuff away. Like, we like giving to the people. Like, that's why
Yeah.
we're in the business that we're in, because we're givers at heart. So don't get discouraged if you didn't get anything today, all right? Okay. Like, we just
All
talked
right.
about this, y'all. Don't be getting all twisted around and mad because somebody else got what you wanted. Like, yours is coming, okay? Like, don't be discouraged. We just talked about this. So listen, you guys, we're out of time for today. And join us next time, September 9th, because we are going to offer you a little masterclass around money and scarcity mindset, poverty mindset, money mindset. We're going to be talking about some myths of money and scarcity. So we are going to be treating this like a mastermind, a 1 hour mastermind or masterclass, excuse me. So you do not want to miss this. You need to bring your pen and paper. You are going to want to jot down some stuff because we are going to be giving some strategies and tips and insights to you that will help you. And also we're going to be talking a little bit more about our Abundantly Being program that we're going to be opening up on Monday. So there you have it. Thank you guys so much. Julian, any last words?
No, I think you got it all.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend, and we will see you on the 9th, or we'll see you in our Abundantly Being program in October. Take care.
All right. Bye, everyone.
This has been the Soul Expansion Soundboard. Join us live every other Friday.